Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. The message I heard is what y'all gonna do to succeed. The scripture comes from Psalm 139. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me and behind and before me, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. So for whoever this is for, God is saying that, He's sending you some warnings, okay? A lot of the messages that I received for today are warnings, 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 and more, okay? Warnings and some more. And I just feel like God is saying that He loves you, and that is why He will give you a warning beforehand. He loves you, and that is why He will assist you along the way, and sometimes we don't even understand what kind of warnings God is giving us, and we don't understand why God is leading us to go down this path, or God may be telling us to turn that way. And sometimes it can be very shocking when we find out who the warning is about. But in reality, for whoever this is for, God is saying that He knows what you are currently doing, what you did in your past. He knows what you're currently doing, and He knows what you're going to do in the future. And because He knows all these things, He also knows it about everybody. So when it is a situation where somebody comes to you and they come to you with some kind of offer, like if somebody invites you out somewhere, or if somebody is asking you that like on a date and they're saying they want to date you, or somebody says they want to build a relationship with you or something like that, and you can think to yourself, oh, this is wonderful, let's go for it. And God can see down the line where this person's intentions really are. God can see down the line, if you carry on with this person, they may end up cheating on you. God can see down the line, if you carry on with this person, they gonna break your heart. God can see down the line that whatever it is that could happen. But at the same time, we personally sometimes allow ourselves to get caught up in idolatry, and just because we see this person, or we idolize the idea of being in a relationship, we idolize the idea of having a best friend, we idolize what kind of best friend we want to have, we idolize what kind of relationship we want to be in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be, and it could be like someone that they're a cheerleader or a dancer, and they only want to date football players. They don't want to date anybody else because that is the perfect, like, they idolize that kind of relationship. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real guilty, okay? I was a dancer and I wanted to date football players, but in reality it was just like, I just feel like it's idolatry. I may not have realized that back then when I was in high school, obviously, but at the same time, at this point in time, I realized that it is idolatry to think that just because somebody does a certain thing, or you know what I'm saying, that you're like, to idolize a position, or to idolize having a certain thing, or it has to be this specific way. Like, you have to be careful that you don't fall into idolatry. That's just like saying that you don't want to date anybody unless they are a rapper or a doctor or a lawyer or like whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could never date anybody if they are not this specific kind of thing. God is saying be careful of idolatry, because you don't want to end up in a position to where you end up getting caught up on accident. And you never saw it coming, but God saw it coming, and God warned you, but you didn't want to listen. Anywho, that's the message. I just feel like God is saying take heed to His warning. And just like in the message, God is saying, oh, okay, so let me hear your plan. You know what I'm saying? And we already know when God tells us, go ahead and tell me what your plans are, He gonna laugh. You know what I'm saying? Because God have His own plans, and His plans is always gonna work. You know what I'm saying? His plan is what is gonna, get you there, get you to the crossing line, get you to the finish line, and get you to win the trophy that you desire. but you have to be able to sit still and listen. And that's the message. That's the message. That's the message. Regardless if it's a situation where you feel like the finish line would be you getting married, maybe you want reconciliation, maybe you want to feel better, have more confidence, or you want a certain kind of job, or you want whatever it is that you want. I just feel like you need to listen to whatever it is God is telling you. You need to listen to what God is where God is leading you. And understand that sometimes what you want is not in alignment with what God's will is. So if you are sitting around and you feel like you want a husband, but they have to be a specific kind of person, then you may not be in alignment with what God's will is for your life. If you saying, you know, you want a job, but you want a specific kind of job, once again, you could not be, it could be that you're not in alignment with what God's will for your life is. God may have another position for you. That job that you want may just simply not be intended for you. And it's not a situation to make you feel sad or to feel as though God doesn't give you what you want. But in reality, you know, whatever it is that God does have for you, whatever it is that God has for you is going to be something that you are going to be blessed in. Your blessings lie there. You will find happiness. You will find joy. It's going to be something that you're going to love to do, because obviously, like God, the Alpha and the Omega, is going to ensure that everybody, whatever it is that God has already written down for you to do, it's going to feel natural. It's going to feel like this is going to be something that's going to feel natural to you. And sometimes we get caught up in seeing other people doing things, and sometimes we get caught up in what looks nice and what's so glamorous. But in reality, just because something is glamorous and something looks nice does not mean that it's really fun, or that it's really like you would enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? There are sometimes that people, they get into doing things and they put forth effort. Hey darling, they put forth effort to work somewhere, or they go to school for something, and they find out down the line they don't like it. And like, you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you basically wasted 5-6 years doing something that you were never intended to do, wasted thousands of dollars going to school for something that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like for whoever this is for, allow God to lead you. And even when it comes to marriage, allow God to lead you. Don't just marry anybody just to be able to say that you married. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we end up falling for a counterfeit. Understood. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Even in that sense, you know, listen to God. Understand that we all have free will. Understand that it could be possible that somebody that first they had all the intentions for y'all to have a beautiful relationship. They could have had all the intentions for y'all to live happily ever after. And then for whatever reason, their train of thought changed, and now they want to break your heart. And their train of thought changed, and now they want to chase after whoever or whatever. And it's like, I just feel like that everything, the only thing that is constant is change, is what I'm hearing. And I just feel like you have to understand that in everything in life, you have to be very close with God, very close knit with God, especially when you are expecting and wanting to get to whatever finish line that you see for yourself. Whew, and that's the message, you know. And just like the scripture says, such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Okay, so I just feel like God is saying that understand that you don't know everything, and it's like it's impossible. It's impossible that you would know everything. It's impossible that you would be able to just know the things that God knows and understand the things that God understands, regardless if it comes to a job, if it comes to a relationship, if it comes to friendships, whatever it is. You know, there have been times where I wanted to join little clubs and like social clubs, and I wanted to join different little groups, and I always would feel like I would have this feeling in my gut that something wasn't right, but I carried on anyways, okay, and just did what I wanted to do anyways. And eventually I would end up finding out exactly what my gut was telling me, exactly what God was trying to show me, what God was trying to tell me. And it just caused a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, wasted a lot of time, and it was just all unnecessary. And even if it's a situation where you feel like, dang, if I don't do this, such and such is gonna hate me. If I don't do this, such and such not gonna like me. You may very well find out that such and such don't like you anyway. And even if you do it, not only have you found out that they didn't like you before they even asked you to join, but also you may also end up in a situation where they have you trapped, or they trying to, cause you some kind of harm. Because I remember I joined this social group years ago, and somebody ended up putting something in my drink, and it made me so sick. Like I didn't even, and I didn't know I didn't see them put it in there. I didn't know when they put it in there, but I just took a sip and I tasted it, and I didn't drink any more of the drink. And I was able to get home. You know what I'm saying? I guess that I didn't finish the drink. So, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a situation where I drank the whole thing, and it was just like a little bitty sip. Just one little sip. And I was like, something ain't right. Okay. And I stopped drinking it. I got to my car, drove home, got home, and then I just felt sick. It's like instantly as soon as I got home. And I know that God been covering me, and God had his hands over me. And I talked about this before, how my son's father was like, what's wrong? And he was like, somebody put something in one of your drinks. Somebody had to have did something to you. He was furious. Like he was livid. And he was like, I don't want you to be in this group. I don't want you to be around them girls. They obviously, somebody is doing something. Somebody's trying to do something or whatever. And it was something that I felt, but I refused to listen in the first place. And I just feel like for whoever this is for, God is saying, listen to him when he is leading you, when he is guiding you, and he is warning you against something, against someone, regardless if it's a person, a relationship, a group of friends, if it's a job, whatever it is. You never know what kind of heartache that you are being, basically pulled away from, what you are avoiding. You know what I'm saying? And when you ignore what God is telling you, you end up having to go through it. But that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys to bits and pieces, and I'll see you guys later. Deuces.